Hello everyone, this is Lady G at Great Basin Alchemy, and welcome to this space of sacredness for connecting deeply with yourself multidimensionally through your soul's journey of spiritual evolution. I want to first check in with everyone to see how you're doing during these shifts of Mercury retrograde, to break down barriers to love that either we have created, accepted from others, or have inherited through our families. Usually, breaking through barriers to love involves a lot of tears. So if you've been experiencing this cleansing process, know that you are on the right track and that you're not alone. So tonight we're going to be, here's love, barriers to love, about finding us a new home and a space where there is more love for ourselves, for others, and from others, as well as speaking truth without judgment. So we're going to be talking about that tonight, about the judgment piece. And this is not the last video for Mercury retrograde. We still have one more moon event during the Mercury post-shadow phase. And so that will overlap this a little bit. But this is the last moon event for the first 3 months of 2020. And so keep in mind that everything that you have been learning, everything that you have been experiencing up until this point has been a process to prepare you for service for the rest of the calendar year. And I have brought selenite for grounding, and then these healing stones along with amazonite for healing the voice, for speaking, as well as the heart. I also have a leaf from my favorite scented geranium plant. It's a rose scented geranium plant to help facilitate the heart space tonight. So let's continue. Tonight I'll be addressing both Mercury retrograde, or Mercury going direct, and then the full moon in Virgo, in that order. So Mercury turns direct today, meaning several things. First, whatever shit that has come up during this time that you haven't faced and dealt with will demand your attention for the next 2.5 weeks. It might demand your attention longer if you don't address it during these next 2.5 weeks. If you can address it during these next 2.5 weeks, it will resolve more quickly. If you can't, just know that it's going to be around for a little bit. Secondly, if you have faced it but don't know what to do next, this rebuilding and integration time of the post-shadow is beginning, and I'm going to give you a tool for how to navigate that. And third, we need to adjust timing mechanisms again. You may have noticed that things slowed down even more the last couple of days, and you may have felt impatient. You may have even experienced some panic attacks of just trying to push things forward and nothing was moving. And that's just Mercury slowing down and stopping. It's called stationing, and then it's going direct today in the complete opposite direction. So, first of all, we're going to start with the timing protocol because this is going to affect everything else that we do. So, we invite you at the level of your higher self to work with the energetic fields and the guides, the moon, sun, Jupiter, Mercury, Neptune, and the Time Lords, the energies of Pisces, Virgo, Leo, and Aquarius, all the energies that we've been working with during this Mercury retrograde, to locate all timing perceptions and mechanisms and flow. We ask that all timing perceptions and mechanisms be cleansed, cleared, recalibrated, and updated according to your spiritual evolutionary state and to the divine flow at this time, slowing aging and increasing momentum along with the movement of Mercury, updating all reference points, all ways of being, perceiving, and being perceived. Next, we're going to talk about a tool that will assist in integrating these shifts, and any shift, actually, and integrating these new updated energies into your body. Usually, when shifts happen energetically, the physical body is the last to receive the information, and sometimes the body really struggles with knowing how to use this information to shift this dimension and to shift itself in this dimension. This dimension is very heavy. It's lightening, it's getting easier, but it's still very dense and very heavy. And so it takes a long time to do some things, to make changes without causing catastrophes. And it also just requires a heck of a lot more effort to do things in this dimension. And so sometimes the body is just wigs out and doesn't know what to do. So, walking a figure eight or the infinity symbol is a very easy way to help the body integrate these energies. And I'm going to explain 2 ways you can do this. I also invite you to research the benefits and the documented uses of this exercise, as it is beneficial for a variety of populations and purposes. A little background is that I first learned about this exercise during my reading remediation coursework for my master's in education. And it became, because it was so amazing to me and the effects of it were so amazing to me, it became a foundational idea for my master's thesis project. And as a result, I can attest to its effectiveness both within myself and within my students, not only for that particular project, but I have implemented it in my classrooms as well since then. So applying it in this new way is very exciting for me, and I am very much interested to hear your experiences with this exercise and how it has affected you. So please let me know down in the comments. When you have a moment, I would love to hear from you. So the first way is the way I was taught as an educator and what I have used with myself and my students. And I'm going to use this infinity symbol here to demonstrate how to do these 2 exercises, these 2 different ways of the same exercise. So first, create an infinity symbol or an 8 using 2 circles adjacent to each other like this. You can use tape, you can use paint if you're outside, you can use drawing on a map. There are all different ways that you can create this design. Preferably 6 to 8 feet in diameter. You can go up to 10 feet in diameter. And you can do this in your living room. You can do this in your backyard, in your driveway, wherever you can find the space. And if you don't have a space that big, just adjust it accordingly. What's most important is that you have this shape that you can walk. Okay, secondly, place an object or select a point to look at that is located perpendicular to the point of intersection. So what that means is this point here. So see how this figure 8 or this infinity symbol is going in this direction? Perpendicular to that is this direction. And you want to do it at this point. So put something 90 degrees here to this point, or perpendicular to the direction of the figure 8, in line with this point here. Then you're going to stand barefoot at the point of intersection and walk in a clockwise direction like this. And I know it doesn't always feel clockwise, but you start clockwise so that you can always see this point and look at that point the entire time you are walking, turning your head as needed. Okay, so as you move here, turn your head so that you can always see this point over here. There is only one way to walk this infinity loop while still being able to see this point. If you were to go this way, all of a sudden your back is to it and you can't see it no matter what you do. So, and the same at this point, your back would be to it. And it should be an easy thing for you to turn your head and see this point no matter where you are in the infinity circle or the infinity loop. Once you become comfortable with walking this loop, begin adding chanting or toning or singing or breath work. You can chant mantras or speak a gratitude list or an affirmation. Most important, no cell phones, no chatting on the phone with friends or listening to podcasts or audiobooks or anything that could be distracting. If you need to listen to music, only calm, meditative music that will allow your brain and body to relax so that the integration can happen. Okay, the second way is as follows. Set up a figure 8 using 2 circles, same way, oriented in a north-south position. Use magnetic north as our bodies are electromagnetic fields. And so it's going to be important to be aligned in that way. Again, start at this point, barefoot, on an empty stomach. Walk in a clockwise direction, same direction, for 15 minutes. You're not looking at any particular point, you're just walking. And then after 15 minutes, switch directions for another 15 minutes. And because you're not looking at any particular point with this way, it doesn't matter. You can walk both ways for 15 minutes each. Then, once you get comfortable, again, add chanting, breath work, toning, or singing. No cell phone, talking with friends, or listening to audiobooks or podcasts. Only calm, meditative music if you desire. And again, 15 minutes with the first setup is plenty of time to get the effects. And ideally, I recommend doing this exercise every day, and some recommend doing this twice a day, morning and evening, both on an empty stomach. However, even just 2 to 3 times a week will make a difference. It just will take a little bit longer to integrate everything into the body. And you might even notice other things, other shifts and changes that happen in your body, other than just integrating these energies and these shifts and changes. So please let me know how you experience this. I'm very interested. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below, and I will be more than happy to answer them to the best of my abilities. Okay, so then that is Mercury. I think that's all we need to address at this point in time. So now on to the full moon in Virgo. And I'm realizing again, many apologies, that I forgot to do intentions for the new moon video that I posted a week ago, I think. I'm so sorry about that. Please always do intentions with the new moon, even if I forget to mention them. They are your order to the universe and course corrections, and as a result are very important feedback information to the universe. So if you did do new moon intentions, please pull them out now to review and refer to as we go. And also you will want your natal chart. So this full moon is at 19 degrees 36 minutes of Virgo. If in your natal chart you have a planet within 6 degrees of this point, you will feel this full moon release, most especially in the house and sign associated with that planet, as well as the house in which Virgo is located. So wherever whatever planet is in Virgo close to 19 degrees 36 minutes, that planet is associated with a sign, and that sign will be in a designated house. So look to that area for areas in your life that will be impacted by this full moon. Additionally, the house in which Virgo is located, notate that. And especially if Virgo is your sun sign, you are definitely going to feel this full moon release in a deep, deep way. Additionally, be sure to check where Mercury is in your natal chart, because as the ruling planet of Virgo, its house and sign will also be affected. Excuse me, my cat is chewing up my plants. Okay. Let's see if this works. I did a energy healing on my cat the other day, and he is integrating as well. Some of it more gracefully than others. Okay, where were we? I'm so glad I write this down, because there are always things like this that interrupt at times, and this is classic Mercury retrograde, interrupting communication. So, okay, here we go. So the theme for this full moon release in Virgo has to do with judgment and control. If you are particularly good with organization and details, you may have an overdeveloped need to control both others and yourself. Particularly in areas related to your shadow side that you have judged to be bad or less than desirable. Maybe you even feel ashamed of this part of you and have shunned it, locking it away so deep that you've forgotten and disconnected from that part of you. And this is where things get interesting. In meditating around judgment, which is going to be a theme that pops up throughout this year, I was shown this text in the Christian Bible in the book of Matthew. And the book of Matthew says that Jesus taught this: do not judge, so that you will not be judged. For by the standard you judge, you will be judged. And the measure you use to judge will be the measure you receive. Now, this definitely addresses the reflection of the outer world to our inner world. But it also has an additional meaning, which I found really profound and insightful when I was shown this, and is one that I'm still working through and integrating myself. So that is addressing the issue of self-talk. What we say in judgment of others is about us, not them. It's about the messages we tell ourselves and how we judge ourselves first and foremost. And the more vehement we are about a judgment, the higher the likelihood is that there is a shadow part of us that needs to be allowed to exist, speak, be heard, loved, and healed. And by healed, I mean integrated into who we are as a person. Now, this can be a very challenging thing to do, particularly if there are parts of you that you really, really don't like. It can be hard to accept that maybe you did something, or you said something, or you think something, or you feel something, or that you are something that might go against the society that you live in, or the religion that you are a part of, or the cultural group that you're a part of. It can be very difficult to choose to love those aspects of you that run against the grain of how you were raised to be. So we are going to do a protocol to support you in facing and loving, hearing, accepting, and healing and integrating your shadow self. So here we go. At the level of my higher self, of your higher self, we ask you to work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate all your control that you have placed outside of you and your divine line, that you have placed on others, their behaviors, their words, emotions, outcomes, places, events, processes, experiences, and things, and gently lift it all up and off of everyone and everything, bringing it all back to you at the level of your higher self, cleansed, cleared, and recalibrated to this present breath of now. Then, at the level of your higher self, work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate all control on you that you are carrying, that others have placed on you, on your behaviors, your actions, words, choices, accomplishments, failures, beingness, and gently lift them all up and off of you. Send them all back to their right and perfect place, along with all relevant and appropriate information where it has the capacity to be received. Then, at the level of your higher self, work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate all control and judgment that you have placed on your shadow self, and gently shift all judgment to acceptance and trust, and adjust the control to appropriate levels of loving boundaries to the degree that supports your spiritual evolutionary state, allowing for these aspects of you to exist in divine love, for you are a piece of the divine source. We invite communication lines between these aspects of you to be opened up and infused with healing holograms and mandalas and appropriate sacred geometric shapes, updating all reference points, all ways of being, perceiving, and being perceived. And now I'm going to pull 3 cards. For affirmations or mantras that might be helpful to you at this time. Let's see here. Okay, here's 1. 2. Okay. The first one. There is plenty for everyone, including me. The ocean of life is lavish with its abundance. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. My good comes from everywhere and everyone and everything. Moving that judgment to trust and acceptance. My good comes from everywhere, everyone, and everything. I deserve the best, and I accept the best now. I am mentally and emotionally equipped to enjoy a prosperous and loving life. It is my birthright to deserve all good. I claim my good. My home is a peaceful haven. Now, after all of this work that we have been doing, even if you haven't moved physically, I bet you feel differently in your home, creating a more peaceful and loving space as you have worked to knock down some of these barriers to love so that you can speak honesty with courage, grace, and without judgment. I bless my home with love. I put love in every corner, and my home lovingly responds with warmth and comfort. I am at peace. We wrap you in sheets of rainbow light, gently sealing in these vibrations to whatever degree is appropriate for your spiritual evolutionary state. We are in deep gratitude to you for your courage to shift, grow, and evolve in service to humanity and to the planet, and for allowing us to be in service to you. Let it be so, and so it is. Go in love.